Look up to the portrait. Its subject's face staring right back at you, one eyebrow raised, as if lifted by a fishhook.
Contentious cur! Thou wouldst dare prance and gallivant about without a summons? Get thee gone, for at the count of 12 the sentries advance.
You locate a hidden key behind the frame and slip it into your pack.
You dare relieve a virginal soul of his effects, Slugabed? Rivellon is but a sty, and I am but forced to watch its slow descent into depravity.
The man in the painting huffs and turns his head away.
Fopdoodle!
If you think the Master loves you more than he loves me, then, Dot, you're a bigger idiot than you look.
Master's the master. Master knows the dog is better than the cat. Master says good dog. Does Master say good cat? No. No, Master does not. See?
The cat gives the dog a long, languid look of carefully disguised contempt. Then she sighs and turns to you.
Settle an argument for us. Dog's body here thinks that because the Master is grateful for his, meaning the dog's, mindless devotion, he loves his dog more than he loves his cat. I, on the other hand, know full well that it's the Master's admiration for my general bearing, demeanour and intrinsic greatness what is most indicative of a state of actual love. He near worships me, he does.
Master loves his dog. Master thinks his cat is cool, not the same thing.
You're a moron.
No, I'm not. I'm black-brown.
See what I'm dealing with? Come on, settle the argument. Tell him he's wrong. There you go, Dot. Listen to the nice fellow.
I don't get it.
Dot sniffs at the collar, recognizes it as his own. His ears fold and his head drops. A hangdog expression appears upon his face.
I suppose that makes sense. I'm all sad now. I think I might have done something wrong. My last master would have died for me. I know he would. I know because he did die for me.
Come on, Dot. We'll go kill rats or something. Take your mind off it. Here you are. As a token of my gratitude, there's a shiny what's-it under the bath upstairs might be of interest to you. People seem to like that sort of thing, and I'm done playing with it. Goodbye, and good luck to you.
You, apple tater cheese.
The rat's tail twists and untwists. His ears cock and uncock.
Cheese food, fruit food.
The turtle looks up at you, slowly. It looks down, slowly. It looks back to you, slowly.
Lucky in life, unlucky in love.
She lets loose a long sigh. She inhales. She sighs again.
Oh, Rory, the rat. He's just over there. Don't blink or he'll flit right past. Like a rat. He's Grace. I'm Gruel. I'm too slow to give him smooches. And he's so smoochable. If only I could keep up. I could groan sweet things in his little ears. I could tell him I love him. I could share my beats. I like beats. Oh, how kind. But I don't like butter. You could try carrot juice or some kind of nectar. Do rats like nectar? Maybe cheese juice. Is there such a thing as cheese juice? Oh, that's too bad. Because then you could cheese juice her up.
She grins at her own joke. It takes a good minute for her mouth to reach a full smile.
A dream come true. Used to be the ladies. Was there one day and wasn't the next. Riker now, nice guy, gives me beats. I like beats. May the soil under your feet stay ever soft.
The spider spindles right up to you, her long, long legs tickling the sandy floor. A malevolent intelligence gleams forth from 8 beady eyes. She opens her mouth, hissing at you.
Getting your mucky little boots in all the wrong places. Don't you know, my little pepper pot, that it's ever such bad manners to enter a queen's boudoir without permission? Did that overriker toss you upstairs, darling? Has he grown weary of milking my venom his very own self? Oh, precious! It's almost too sad to take advantage. But my princelings are hungry. And just look at you. Your food.
Her fangs drool venom that sizzles on the sand. But there's no time to think about all that, because raising up on her hind legs, she pounces right at you. Before you stands the ghost of an older woman. Clad in flowing magister's robes, she peers around the room as if looking for something lost. On seeing you, she brightens and extends an ethereal hand.
Magister Pavlonia, charmed to meet you, I'm sure.
Your hand passes right through hers. She shrieks, horror animating her face.
Oh, my hand! My fingers! Well, really, I'm quite aware of that. But I am not fully myself. I keep forgetting things somehow. It's hard to hold all the threads together when you've fallen apart yourself. Wait, the spider! It was the spider! She chewed me. Bits of me. Slowly. I keep looking, but I can't find myself. It is my hand!
She stretches out her ghostly arm and wriggles ethereal fingers into the slightly chewed and more than a little decomposed hand.
The threads are coming back together now. You, sorcerer, you helped me. I should help you. Stay away from the black pits, far away. There are black ring there, prisoners. And if my colleagues catch a sniff of your sorcery there, they're liable to treat you just the same.
Waving her ghostly hand at you, Pavlonia disappears beyond visibility to meet her fate.
Kin, you speak to Cure, hatched from the egg of Zora. It pleases Cure to speak to lizards once more. But why does a dragonkin leave the ancient empire? Why does a dragonkin come to such a dark place?
You stare in shock. It's speaking perfect old tongue. You'd have no idea what it was saying if you weren't well versed in the Empire's ancient texts.
A celestial champion. Cure expects nothing less from a kin. Our old master would be proud. Has the Empire fallen so far? The old master would never have allowed such folly.
The lizard hisses dismissively.
All apes look alike. They dress in black, but come in all shapes. Tall humans, stunted dwarves, creatures that stink of death. All that is known is they arrived with gold and left with the promise that people will die. Cure's old master taught Cure. Consul Zara, esteemed lizard consul, was the most prestigious master. Until the elf killed Consul Zara.
The lizard lets out a low, rumbling hiss.
Killed Zara for gold. Then he stole Zara's chest and stole Cure away. A prisoner, yes, but my master's secrets are safe. The vile elf cannot speak our elegant tongue, and he could not break open her chest. It tried for many weeks, but its enchantments are strong. In the elf's rage, it was thrown into the flames of our lizard graves. Even there, it could not be destroyed. It brought joy to hear the elf's fury.
Ksure sniffs hotly, teeth peeking out from a lipless mouth.
An elf viewing the mind of Consul Zara? How unseemly. Although perhaps it is good that you know your pet has seen Consul Zara's chest thrown to the graveyard's eternal flame by the creature that owns this house. If you can rescue the chest from the flames and sing the words of that song, the chest will split open like an egg. Cure will mourn Consul Zara, but will also be glad to know her effects are in your honored claws, O Prince.
The lizard's eyes, cold, search your face for a moment.
Cure has hoped to keep his master's secrets until the end of time. But it is right that a kin of your majesty should know. If others have not already claimed the chest, then douse the flames, good prince, and sing these words. It will be yours. Honor the memory of Cure's master. She deserves nothing less.
The stag trophy stares outward with dull glass eyes, inscrutable and a little disquieting. A faint breath of chill air brushes the back of your neck. The gentle scrape of a sound, a foot or a hoof, dragging across a floorboard perhaps. The ghostly stag inclines its antlered head towards you.
For what prize would a foolish poacher discard his life? The answer lies at a halo of wildflowers. Seek it out, and heed the wisdom the poacher would not.
The spirit of a poacher stands before you. He begs for mercy, but not from you. He has no eyes for you.
Please, Master Racker, it was a mistake. I'd never have killed that deer, not if I knew who it belonged to.
She hums quietly. The notes move in rhythm with her wandering eyes. The lizard pauses, and a smile crosses her face.
Me belongs to me. Servants belong to the hall. That's the way I like it.
Her hum returns, soft at first, then blossoming into a full-fledged hymn.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept.
Help! I'm down here! A mind of this magnitude shouldn't be cursed to live like this. Can you dig me up? Don't worry, there's nothing funny about me.
The skeleton tries to brush the dirt from his clattering bones, then frowns. The moistest bits are still stuck in his cracks and crevices.
Thanks. You're probably looking for a reward, but I haven't got much. Except, you know, the wisdom of the ages.
He pokes a finger against his ossified head.
I'm a bit of a philosopher, you see. Not much else to be, what with all that thinking time. Oh, but I don't just go around giving knowledge away like a common medium.
The skeleton pauses and sighs, then straightens his spine with a clatter.
A soul bond will settle it. A battle of wits. Then the cosmos itself will decide who can better face the truth of our own essence, me or you. A weak soul may not survive the bond. But I'm sure you'll be just fine. Battle is dangerous, is it not? I find it to be true anyway, even when you're battling your own mortality. The angst can prove terminal to the weak-willed. Oh, it's easy. We link up souls and share our innermost beliefs. Think of it like an innocent little duel. The winner remains comfortable with their personal truths. The loser, well... Oh, how fun. Just touch this bone on my rib cage here, right over where my heart would be, if... well, you know.
You reach for the rib in question, but nothing feels different. Not until you try to pull your finger away and it remains glued to the bone.
All right, mister. Deep thought. First up, our purpose in life. I say it's to accumulate knowledge. Pretty great answer, eh? Can you do better than that?
His jaws clack together in a show of self-assurance. A shattering shiver passes through the skeleton's body from toe to head, then back again.
Well, but... let's just move on to the next question. Tell me, Sammy Smarty Pants, is there such thing as free will? I say no. The gods guide our every move. I dare you to outsmart me now. Oh, gods, I can hardly bear to... All right, I need to get a hold of myself.
The skeleton hangs his head low, then yanks it upwards again.
One last query. Is there a difference between right and wrong? The truth is that there is not. Only action and consequence. Oh-ho! I got you there.
You feel the bond break between your finger and the skeleton. You pull your hand quickly back to your side.
I can't bear this existential agony. What have you...
Here rests the human hero Garrick. He served Lucien the Divine with immense skill and slew the necromancers who preyed upon the dead of Stone Garden Cemetery. The implements of his heroism shall rest at the site of his victory. Here rests the elven hero Halla. He served Lucien the Divine with great vigor and defended the farmers who feed Reaper's Coast against pitiless bandits. The implements of his heroism shall rest at the site of his victory. Here rests the dwarven hero Bromley. She served Lucien the Divine with honor and cast out the demons that plagued the great woodlands. The implements of her heroism shall rest at the site of her victory. Here rests the lizard hero Vidia. She served Lucien the Divine with great dignity and vanquished the strange beasts that arose from the primordial caverns of Reaper's Coast. The implements of her heroism shall rest at the site of her victory. Suddenly, the earth churns and buckles upwards in several places. Some things are trying to rise to the surface.
Godwoken! You must fall! The God King demands it!
You must fall, so that we may rise!
Let your blood quench our roots, so we may grow.
The covenant shall be fulfilled.
The heroes of Driftwood lie at your feet, dead for good this time.
Most foreboding. When did heroes turn villains? And what is this covenant?
Whatever this covenant is, it didn't bring them victory.
I wonder what prize was sweet enough to make him into this. This covenant of theirs didn't do them much good. Onwards.
Whoever is behind all this will have to try harder if they want to stop us.
They were corrupted somehow. If it could happen to them, it could happen to us. We should be cautious.
I'm glad I still have people I can call family. But I know we can't stay here. The Magisters, they'll come back. They always do. So, farewell. Oh, and take this. You'll make better use of it than I ever could.
He responds with a weak shrug.
Away from here. Away from Driftwood, away from Arx. Away from all of this. I'd ask Hanag. But it seems she's deserted me. Deserted my family. I have no idea where she disappeared to. Maybe it's best, I don't know.
He turns wordlessly and takes his first steps towards a new life. A man paces back and forth, puffing anxiously on a pipe. His face is creased with tiredness. The faint coppery hue of dried blood stains his hands. He sees you.
If you're looking for healing or the like, then you'd best look elsewhere. My plate is full for now.
The man chomps on the bit of his pipe, generating a small cloud of nervous smoke. Finally, he plucks it from his mouth and clears his throat.
I came by a new patient, a young woman, very troubled. I'll do what I can for her, but I'll need to concentrate. And that means...
He gestures with his pipe for you to leave.
I'm still trying to figure that out. She seems afflicted with some sort of rabidness. It makes her difficult to approach and nigh on impossible to treat. I had no choice but to lock her in my cellar, for her safety and my own. This isn't someone with a broken leg who needs to be held still. This is serious and dangerous. I doubt you could help. Fine. You can help. Take this key and go to the cellar. I'll join you there. Just be careful. I wasn't jesting before. She was already a powerful sorcerer by the looks of things. But whatever it is that's happened to her, it's left her dangerous.
Across the cellar, a shape bearing some resemblance to a woman lurches around to face you. It utters a marrow-curdling gurgle.
She senses us. Be calm and quiet. No sudden moves. You're right. I hadn't noticed before. Couldn't get close enough. We have to help her. Maybe we can reverse whatever was done to her. All right. We need her subdued, understand? Do whatever you can to weaken her. Just don't go too far or you might kill her.
Another gurgle, sharper, angrier. Then the sound of rapid footfalls rushing towards you. The young woman lies still on the floor, her breathing an uneven rasp. Swan's satchel of surgical tools lies nearby. Swan approaches, cradling his arm with a grimace of pain.
Those summons of hers broke my arm. I'll do what I can to help, but the rest is up to you. Tread carefully. One false move and she's dead.
Swan carefully holds her head steady with his one good arm. Something moves along her exposed lobe. It's a maggot of some kind. The maggot is caught in the pinch of the tweezers and plucked off in a single, swift movement. The woman's breathing has grown shallow as she hovers between life and death. All you can do is close her up and hope for the best. You replace the extracted bone and bind it with copper hooks. Then you draw the scalp back in place and start stitching the incision shut. The woman's breathing grows stronger, more even. Colour flushes her cheeks.
She's alive. You did it. I've never seen anything like that, not in 20 years. I'll tend to her here for a while. She shouldn't be moved yet. She'll want to thank you once she comes round, I'm sure.
He looks up from his map.
Your war owl came. I confess, I had no idea just how grave the situation had come to be. The Black Ring, back, for all that's holy. I've informed Lord Kem in Arx. Thank you sincerely for your service.
He tosses you a pouch.
It's all there. You have your money and my gratitude with it.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. It's like I always said, everyone's got a melody in him. You just gotta look. Me brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. Manchester's came, stole him away. I keep going though, hoping to get to Arx sooner than later. Lucian's Day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles.
The Fletcher trembles before the mass of bodies littering the camp, then looks you in the eyes.
They're dead. That means I can leave. Well, sure I do. I'm a Fletcher. Damn good one, actually. That's why I'm here. Roost forced me to work for him. After being trapped in this decimated ruin, a bit of sea air could be just what I need to relax. Decide what comes next. Thank you.
He reaches for your hand and shakes it, his eyes smiling.
It's a deal. Must be moored off the Driftwood Harbour, right? I'll meet you there. Thank you.
The tree-form spirit slowly, oh so slowly, becomes aware of you. When he speaks, it's low and slow. He grumbles, as if in discomfort or in pain.
I see you. A lone wolf took my life as I tried to take hers. She fought the battle well, at least as well as I. The mill ran red with blood. Much of it was mine. No, not at all. This pain right now is from taking root. This pain is good. This pain is life. That time is past. That fight is done. You must fight your own fight. You must win your own war.
With a last great creaking groan, he returns to the business of securing his roots and takes his leave of you. Geraldine gives you a blank look. She blinks her long, luscious eyelashes, then remembers she's supposed to be annoyed with you. She harumphs.
Oh, good. Yum. That'll take a minute to kick in. Bye now.
Oh, hi! Nice to see you. Bye then. That'll teach you to make assumptions then, won't it?
Go ahead. Gods know, though they are a nuisance. Believe me, a prince of the House of War survives his first attempts at assassination in the crib. His mother is not so much his keeper as his bodyguard, though I must admit these fellows are rather tenacious. Do you tire of their attempts? Precisely. And it's precisely this sort of understanding that makes me appreciate our journey together. Quite a novel thing for me, this together concept. How about yourself? How lucky you are, then, to have my exalted companionship in your party. I'm in rather good spirits after that invigorating fight, so I think I'll return the compliment. It's good to have you around.
4 deer stand in formation near a crumbling altar. 3 stags, fawn-coloured and hearty, gaze cloudy-eyed at a great black skeleton glowing an eerie green.
Now.
Now. Now.
We rise. We rise.
We rise.
And we destroy.
And we destroy.
And we destroy.
The 4 deer suddenly fall silent and stand stock still. The void-woken deer turns its head to you, great antlers glowing in the dappled shade.
Eat its eyes.
The ancient altar, before which the deer crowded, sits stark in the dappled forest light. Something about it draws you in. It seems to emit a faint, pleasing heat. The stones appear to be just that. Apart from a few faded red stains across the topmost slab, nothing unusual betrays itself. Gentle heat warms your hand. The air stirs, as though someone had appeared and taken a seat upon the altar. A voice rises around you, its source unclear. Fractured whispers surround you. Poor thing, the words caress you like a balmy breeze. Look what they've done to you. This burden is not yours to bear. Too much has been asked of you already. I will put this right. How weary you must be, how deserving of respite. Rest. The whispers shuffle away and the air shifts. Whatever was here a moment ago is gone now. In the near distance you see a man, though shadows obscure his features. A faint, guttural chittering emanates from a cage before him.
This is him. He can help me. He can...
Losa's eyes suddenly fill with inky blackness. Grey veins appear beneath her skin.
Walk away.
She shakes her head. Her colour returns to normal.
I'm running out of time. I think that man is Jehan, the demonologist. I need to talk to him.
She throws up a salute and laughs low, but worry sparkles behind her eyes. She walks towards the mysterious figure, who turns towards her with narrowed eyes.
Keep your distance. I recognize that particular shade of darkness in your eyes. Why do you seek me?
You're Jehan, the demonologist. I heard you could help me. Please, I must be free of it.
Jahan stands back from her, his body tense. He stares into her eyes a long while, saying nothing.
I've heard about you, Losa. You're the amalgam too hideous to contemplate. One who has a demon coiled around her god-woken heart. Its grip grows stronger by the hour. Its voice and yours become ever more indistinguishable until, ultimately, it's your voice no longer. But not just yet.
He walks toward her. They talk in low tones. Jahan's face is vivid, insistent. Losa's is set in a determined frown.
Do as I say, Losa. Hurry now. It won't be long.
They shake hands, Jahan clasping Losa's hand in both of his.
You'll see. I'll be back before you know it. The Advocate doesn't stand a chance.
Losa turns to you.
So, we have a job. It's like this. Jehan can help us. He can teach us how to control more Source. Just like that. All we need to do is a little favor for him. There's a place to the north called Blood Moon Island. I guess it's been more or less lost to a demonic presence for some time now. There's a fellow there, goes by the Advocate, and our new pal Jehan would like to see him taken care of. We take care of that, and Jehan helps us control more Source. And after that, he may even be able to help exorcise what ails me. Sound good? Of course it does.
She turns away before you have time to answer.
Excuse me. You travel with Losa, do you not? We need to have a word, you and I. I suppose I don't have to tell you her condition is rather dire. Fast, most certainly being the operative word. The thing inside her is voracious. It's a testament to her strength that it hasn't long since consumed her whole. Perhaps that's because she's God-woken, just like you are. The fact that she's God-woken is what's saving her, but may also be the very thing that spells the world's doom. Do heed me when I say that under no circumstance must she be allowed to ascend to divinity. The demon, not she, would be a god. It would bring about the end of time and space and all creation as we know it. I say this to prepare you for the worst. I say this to prepare you for the kill may come to pass. You must be ready to be the death of Losa. Should she come close to ascension, you may not hesitate. Stand ready to end her, even if it breaks your heart. Then practice the moment in your mind, for hesitation will mean annihilation. There may be more I can do for you. Come find me if you are interested in growing the Source inside you. You may find that new strength will soon become essential. How fares the hunt, my friend? Death fog obscures any approach and hangs thick over the collapsed bridge that led to the isle from the Driftwood Road. There is more than the mist alone there, though. Magic that evades my eyes. I also spotted a sloop further down the shoreline, but of course, a quiet afternoon's boating trip will be quite ruined once one hits death fog-shrouded waters. It is a place of irony, if you will. Once the site of an academy dedicated to the art of demon hunting, now the remnant of a dream sliced open into nightmare. Rumor has it an exorcism went wrong there long ago, and for a short time a great demon stood unopposed. Had it not been for Dr. Deva, the entirety of Reaper's Coast could have looked like Blood Moon Island looks today. He contained the demon and its blood spawn to the doomed shores of the isle, surrounded it with death fog, and never looked back. I met him once, during a soirée in Arx. Quite the eccentric is Dr. Deva. But then again...
He looks you up and down.
Aren't we all?
He smiles, like one would at a child, asking about the birds and the bees.
I know because I've known others like you. Those whose fates are chained, for better or for worse, to that of the gods themselves. I have battled the foe of foes, and conquered it. For a while. I have sat in perfumed gardens with the source herself, drank life from her very lips. I have seen well over 2,000 springs, and will continue to do so until time itself closes its weary eyes. Trust me, I know what you are, and what you can be. May you wander in wisdom.
Just when I think this land holds no more surprises, I find myself in some place even more dismal than the last. Still, at least this is an interesting variation on dismal. I always thought my path was laid out. Become divine. Preserve what's left of your people. It was such an easy narrative. But what if you could do more? What if you could save them all? And worse, what if you had all that power, but they were not worth saving? I don't know. Tell me, what would you do?
Fane nods slowly, lost in thought.
You're not entirely wrong. Then again... Thank you. I will have to think on this. It has been unlike anything I ever imagined. To explore this world with you, to see this world through your eyes, even metaphorically. Well, it has been a privilege. Do what you want. What does it matter? My people are gone. Worse than gone. It's all pointless.
What's on your mind? Ah, yes. The dream visions. I've been bombarded with a lot of grandiloquent prophecies that an analytical mind like mine is obliged to meet with a certain degree of skepticism. Were it not for the princess. Like all lizards, I give great credence to dreams, for I know them to flow not from the sleep-hazed mind, but from another plane of existence altogether. Sometimes, in that vast phantasmagorical chaos, two storm-tossed kernels meet and become a constant. The Red Princess is the secret of my soul. There is no doubt we are meant for one another. Meant for dragons. Ontologically speaking, where the return of the great red dragons is as yet but a possibility in the realm of Rivellon, it is already fact in the disarray of dreams. I notice a certain limitation in your vocabulary. You're welcome. As if that ever was in doubt. Now, I don't blame you for being skeptical. It shows a penchant for logic. But logic, dreams, and prophecy make for an ill-tasting cocktail indeed. Bear with me, though. I'll make it taste sweet just yet. I can't say I've ever given them much thought. They're no more than an elven curiosity as far as I'm concerned, obsessed with the idea of becoming sentient bark. Wonderful material once chopped, though, I'll give you that. Just look at the Lady Vengeance. In the meantime, though, let us search for the Red Princess. I must find her.
Go on, then.
She smirks quite joylessly.
You heard the way he spoke to me, didn't you? I don't think I'll lose any sleep over his violent demise. Roost. He was wickedness come to life. In his mind, we were nothing but things that squeal delightfully when tortured and ravished.
She looks at you intently, with searching, questioning eyes.
Does such a creature deserve anything less than death? Indeed, The name's on my left arm. Several I killed with pleasure. You saw what I did with Stingtail. You saw it made me feel good. You read the ecstasy in my eyes when I made Roost scream. I ask again, does a creature like me deserve anything less than death? No innocence, not anymore. But in their name, so many guilty ones.
She holds up her needle and eyes it with the same searching, questioning look she gave you.
Beyond the blood hides nothing but a desire to be happy. I can only hope that is not too terrible a crime. Ah, yes. I am the Prime Scion. A revelation that came quite out of the blue, which is somewhat ironic, considering I'm supposed to be my people's foremost memory keeper. Quite slipped my mind, though. A slave scar will do that to a girl. Yes, a great many things. Days long gone.
She looks down, an uncharacteristic cast of melancholy passing over her face.
Gods, I was so young. Imagine it, to sit enthroned under a vast forest canopy, to look down upon a crowd of thousands, their bodies aglow with countless rays of golden light falling through the leaves. You hear their voices as one. One mind, one thought, and it's your name they incant, as if the word itself were magic. Sabine. They said it like I was the cornerstone of their existence. Isn't that silly? I didn't even know myself. Good question. It's a very lonely thing, indeed, to be the object of a people's worship. What is revered is feared at the same time.
She absent-mindedly fingers her needle, hesitates.
I used to love poetry. I used to love wandering the forests for days on end. I'd swim in the rivers and forget to dress after. It was fine. I was alone. I'd bask in the sun, sleep nestled among bear cubs. Nothing out there would harm me. But always, they would find me, the Scions. Always the Mother Tree would call me back, for one day I'd be free no longer. One day my legs would be roots. To wander would be but one lone memory among millions. Clearly not. Though I must admit that even to sit on that throne amid that eerie crowd, destined to become leaf and bark, was not so dreadful a prospect as what came next. When I decided to run away from the Mother Tree with only the moon for my guide, it was a terrible journey. Soft-leafed branches became vicious like whips. Moss-bedecked rocks became sharp like the stone axes of old. I grew weary. I was bleeding, in pain, and how I gasped when for the first time an animal eyed me with malice and growled. That is when I heard them. The whispers and the taunts. The low howls of men. The snare cut so deep. The blindfold, it made me panic. The dark. There's nothing much left to say after all. You know what came after. Then there was the stench of those men. The burn of the ropes. The jeers and the kicks. Until the dark went silent. Even those barbarians didn't dare speak in the presence of the Master. But I'll not speak of him and his methods. Not now, anyway. If ever. We should sail off into the sunset in search of the Nameless Isle. An idyllic enough spot, no doubt.